www.microfundingseconds.com, and I'm trying something new with video. I'm really excited because I'm creating this official platform for me to be able to bring you great information, not only products and programs, but people who can help change your life and help you shape your very own badass life. And I've created my show. It's called The Shape Show, and I may even do a radio edition of The Shape Show. And I'm really excited because my first guest today is Stephanie Miller, founder of Wisdom of the Kitchen. And she has a little story she's going to share with you that I think you guys might relate to. And it's interesting because we are both in our kitchens. And it was in Stephanie's kitchen where she had come up with this idea, a new way to do business in the world. But first, let's hear your sugar story. You have a sugar story that I think my audience would love to hear about.
Yeah. Well, Erin, thank you so much for having me today, and welcome to all of you in my kitchen. This is my actual kitchen back here. Awesome. And the first time I saw your 21-day Sugar Smackdown, I was totally excited because I initially did my own 30-day Sugar Smackdown.
Awesome.
And the reason that I did that was because I realized that I had a problem with sugar. And I realized that for me, the way that I behaved with sugar was exactly the same as an alcoholic with alcohol. I had a stash. I never went to a job without chocolate. I had my favorite chocolate. I actually ate all kinds of sugar. And I always say, if you put a bowl of M&Ms in front of me, I don't even like M&Ms, and I would eat every one. And I couldn't stop. And I just started to realize that I wasn't controlling the sugar was controlling me. And I decided, I had a few friends that had done it, and I decided that I was going to try going 30 days without sugar. Like this magical thing happened, and it went so far beyond anything that I ever imagined could happen to me because it transformed my whole life. And it's a small little change in my life that transformed my whole life. That I started to really experience life in a different way. I wasn't numbing myself out. And, it would be funny things, like I would just be present. I would, be present for conversations. I would look people in the eye in a way I never had before.
You were no longer numbing yourself. You started to really experience your feelings in a whole new way. And then what else happened in terms of your business and your career and your ability to be successful in the world after you eliminated the sugar?
Yeah, so I think because I wasn't numbing myself, I started to see the stress and the difficulty in my life. I started to see the ways that I was eating to pad. I worked for 25 years in advertising, and that was the way that I dealt with the deadlines and the demands and the yelling and the fear, was that I ate. And so my diet cleaned up. I started eating 3 meals a day like a normal person, and I'd eat like 3 things on a plate, a carb, a protein, a vegetable. And then, professionally, I started really looking around, and I realized that I wanted more from my career than I was getting, and I wanted more than just a paycheck. And so I started on this journey, which now has taken me, it's been about 5 years since the time that I realized I needed to change my career. And so I became an entrepreneur. And I have to tell you, every day, I just said this morning when I got up, how cool is it that my job today is to talk to Erin? It's cool, right?
I love it, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
tell us more. Okay, so let's dive into that. So tell us about your journey into becoming an entrepreneur and working for yourself. And let's just let everyone know, what is Wisdom of the Kitchen?
Yeah, I'd love to tell you about Wisdom in the Kitchen. Right now, it's just my passion. So one of the things, I was talking about how I realized I was unhappy in my job. And one of the reasons is corporate America is kind of a football scrum. You really take a beating when you work in companies. And I started to think there has to be a better way to do this. And what I realized was what business needed is a more feminine approach. And that for me is a metaphor. When I thought about, okay, what would make business more feminine, I was like, oh, It's exactly the way that women are in the kitchen. And I always use the example of Thanksgiving Day. You know, we all gravitate to the kitchen, and even the people that don't cook, you know, they set the table or they make drinks for the people that are cooking. The older women teach younger women how to do stuff, and we're cooperative and creative and generous and intuitive. It's just such a beautiful analogy of how to work together. And so I decided that's what's needed in the world. Let's bring the wisdom of the kitchen into the world.
And specifically into the business and marketing, and that's incredible. I love it. And so you're launching a big event. You're launching Wisdom of the Kitchen with a big event coming up, aren't you?
I am. November 13th is the launch of Wisdom of the Kitchen. And there's a lot of things going on around the launch, and I'll try not to get too deeply into this. One thing I actually did want to mention is I also want to mention the book. Can I
yeah, definitely.
Okay, so this is the Wisdom of the Kitchen book. It's a short book, and basically it has those principles that I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Be creative, be generous, be intuitive. And my idea with the book, it's just a short book. It takes about 15 minutes to read. And at the end, there's a page where you can take the Wisdom of the Kitchen promise and just say that you affirm those values and you want to, be out in the world in that way. And my idea is that women will come together and you can just buy a copy of the book and then have a discussion group and talk about, in your world, how can you make a difference in this affirmative way? Let's not just complain about the economy's going bad or whatever, but let's be positive.
And also, let's get past the competition and become more cooperative and supportive of each other.
Totally. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I think in American culture in particular has really become kind of a poison. And I think the antidote to the poison is a feminine approach. I really do.
Cool. So where can we get a copy?
So you can get a copy if you go to my website. Go to www.wisdomofthekitchen.com, and in the upper right-hand corner it says Buy Book. And it's actually set up so that you can buy 1, 5, or 10. I think this year it'll make a great stocking stuffer for all your women family members, or you can buy it for a group.
And I know that one of the things that you do is help women who are just starting out. So, for example, if I don't have a business or I have this idea about something that I want to do, don't you help with like microfunding, or you help women business owners get started? Tell us about that.
Yeah. So let me explain a little bit about microfunding. Microfunding, if I can take 1 minute and give you a few little statistics, which I think are helpful.
Yeah.
So today, women entrepreneurs are the fastest growing business sector in America. And I think, it's widely known on the news that small business is the main employer in America. So right now, we are responsible for about 6.5% of all the employment in the United States, women entrepreneurs. The fastest growing part of that women-owned business sector is sole proprietorships and businesses with receipts under $5,000. So those businesses really don't fit in the conventional funding model. In the conventional funding model, either an angel investor, venture capitalist, any of those kind of funding are looking at, in general, deals over $50,000. And, sole proprietors just need a little money to get started. There's lots of women-owned businesses that only need maybe $2,500 to get started. So I came up with this idea, and it's not a new idea. Microfunding, we recognize from disaster relief. It got a lot of press for the Obama campaign. And so microfunding is a way for us as women, again, to cooperate. We all come together, and I think of it like a potluck with money. So everybody brings a little bit, and the sum...
That's great. I love that.
Yeah, so the sum of those little donations will be enough to help a woman start her business. And, I picture the microfunding in my site to be in that $500 to $5,000 range. That's kind of the sweet spot. And right now, God willing, on the website, we're going to start doing that on November 13th. Nice. We're going to start presenting businesses that you can come and take a look at what they're doing and what their project is. There's lots of other models like this on the web, and because I'm not live, you're welcome to look at those models. There's Indiegogo, there's Kickstarter, trying to think of some of the other ones. There's Grow VC. There's a few different people that are doing this model, so you can get an idea of how it works. But we're going to start November 13th. And
so what's going down November 13th? I want to hear more about this event.
So November 13th, we have a launch event, and it's going to be at the Sheraton in Los Angeles, downtown Sheraton in Los Angeles, and we're bringing together a group of women, and we're going to do live microfunding. So we're going to try this idea. Instead of doing it on the internet, we're going to do it face-to-face.
Oh.
So
right.
a party...
So you get to come. Okay, that's really interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so you come and you, as a part of your registration fee, you'll get your money back in tokens. And just kind of a little cute thing is that the business owners will have their own pot, and you can put your token into their pot.
Nice.
We'll present a couple of businesses, and then there's a charity, the Kind campaign, if you prefer to give your money to charity as opposed to starting a business. And you'll hear from those businesses, and you can decide how you want to spend your money, how you want to donate. And, you know, it's a live potluck. And the reason I'm doing this is I think it's important for women to look each other in the eye and do this giving and receiving. So right now I have an early bird special, only lasts until next Friday, the 29th. If you sign up now, you will reserve a seat for TED Women. And TED Women, I don't want to get too into those details. You can look at TED.com for TED Women.
Oh, wow.
But it's a women's, international women's event that I'll be broadcasting live, and I'm reserving seats for people who come to my microfunding event. So there's only 50 seats, and they are going fast. So you'll want to sign up if you want to come to both events. And there's more details on the website. So the website, same thing, go to www.wisdomofthekitchen.com and click on the tab that says events, which is right next to the tab that says buy book.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. Was there anything else you wanted to present or kind of end with? Any words of wisdom that you wanted to, no pun intended, leave for my audience?
Yeah, you know, one thing that I did want to mention, we were talking about the sugar before, and one of the things that happened for me when I stopped eating sugar was I was able to tap into my own intuition. And the fact of the matter was, when I was using sugar, I wasn't tapping into my own innate wisdom. And, you know, in a way, I think you and I have such complementary missions because you're helping women to, you know, discover who they really are and feel good about themselves and be healthy and wealthy. And I just want that same transformation to happen in society. And the way that that happens, I think, is for women who are, you know, really in touch with who they are and really can feel what's going on inside and really to listen to that intuition. So I just, you know, do the 21-day sugar smackdown, and you don't know where you'll be a year from now or 5 years from now.
Well, thanks for being my first guest.
Yeah, I had a great time. Thanks for inviting me.
I'm so excited. And thanks to all of you guys watching out there. Stay tuned for more of The Shape Show. And that's all for now. Bye.
Bye.